on my Area 51 line. You're on the air. Hello.
Welcome to the Blondes and Booze Paranormal Podcast, where what you've known as reality will be shattered by the truth. Krista and Brandy will lift the veil from your eyes, revealing what has either been hidden or denied you for eons.
Hey, you two are the funniest looking Brandies I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm Brandy-ish.
Brandy-ish. I see that.
Yeah, you're Brandy-ish.
Not quite Swiss Miss.
Oh, I should have said BMR-ish.
Yeah. Well, you know, I literally I went looking for my blonde wig. I was going to actually put it on, but I couldn't find it. If I found it, I'd have had it.
That's
Maybe
funny.
for Halloween.
There you go. There you go. That works. So just to let you know, we have fill-ins tonight. Brandy has something going on with her mom tonight. So she couldn't make it, but we have two heroes that saved the day.
Oh.
Oh.
And the crowd went, oh.
Yeah. Happy freaking Thursday, guys.
Happy
Hey, it's my Friday. I'm happy.
Thursday.
I know.
Thursday, they used to say in the bar business.
Thirsty Thursday?
That ain't no lie.
Yeah.
In the bar business, what is Thursday? What is traditionally Thursday night? Ladies' night.
Yeah,
you're
that. Right. Yeah. And Wednesday was always, well, we all know what hump night is, but hump night on Wednesday was
Yep.
the intermingling of women and men at the bar. That was a big turnout for both men and women on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially at the right bar. Then you got Dollar Wells.
Huh?
What was the biggest night of people to come to a bar?
For me personally, my bar was pretty good. I was busy from noon to 3 for the lunch crowd. Then it died off to about 6.
Yeah.
And 6 to midnight was big.
Okay.
And then on the weekends, it was busy Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Pretty much.
Ours was our biggest nights were always Friday because that was a darts tournament. So that was our biggest.
And we used to have band night on Saturday as well.
Right.
We'd have like local bands come in and play.
Okay.
And
I don't think half people in mine could spell band.
Oh gosh. I did that for a while. They got a little expensive. See, if you wanted to get like the local guys that weren't very good, they were cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I started, man, these guys, they kind of suck. How much should I get some a little better? But you had to make like $1,000, in a night just to pay these guys.
Oh yeah.
But I did learn, Randy, you know this, and I learned something though. I did it for 13 years, and it took my first 3 years. I didn't make any money. I made zero.
No, and you never will.
And my mom and dad were like, "You quit Ford Motor Company to live back with me and your dad," because I had literally moved back home.
Yeah, Ford was a good job, I bet.
And I gave him a great job. I said, "I'm done with Ford, man. 20 years in, I'm out.
I want to own a bar."
Yeah,
said
right.
Nobody ever.
Yeah, and they're like, "And what about a bar?" I said, "Nothing." So 3 years I suffered, but then I started getting, after that third year to fourth, after the start of the fourth year, we started doing well. But Randy, as you know, why I started doing well was because I started advertising lunch. $5 lunches, 50-cent beers. And I started packing them in from 12 to 3. And that made up, that Monday through Friday at lunchtime made up all my bill money. So when the weekend hit, that was all pure profit.
Oh, wow.
Then I learned that's how you're successful. If you don't have a good lunch crowd, you probably aren't going to make too much money.
Nah. And, for the longest time, the place I was at, we had an old diner down there, if you want to call it that. And the lady that ran it, she'd be open, every day but Monday, whatever case. Then she started closing down on Tuesdays because they're just, I say it like they're one of the old golfers, because it was a golf course too. So the clubhouse left. And the old golfers used to look at me and said, "There ain't nobody down here but old folks and poor folks." That's all there is to it. And that's the way it was. I mean, but it was reversed for us because Friday night and when we had shuffleboards going and had shuffleboard on Saturday night, Friday and Saturday night would make up for the rest of the week.
Oh,
Right.
And of course, the golfers coming in and playing, but they were all members, so they paid once a month anyway. So,
Wow. Very cool. I've never owned a bar. I've just visited them.
Well, I mean,
I didn't own it. I ran it. So.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you really briefly, then we'll get started. I didn't really want to go into the bar business. I just wanted to own a business, but I had that in the bar was in the back of my mind. But the property I found, because the bar was terrible, because it was terrible ownership, it was a rough crowd for a while.
Sure.
The location and the building and the property was such a great value. I said, I'll just buy it and
Yeah.
decide what to do with the property.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so really when I sold it right around in 2020, mostly it's not even a bar today. Now it's nothing. Now what they did was they went out of business after COVID. And now last month, 2 months ago, you know what it is now? It's a mini mart with a gas station.
Oh, well, at least they turned it into something.
They turned it into something. It was like several different owners.
Because I know you had said that it was kind of like, it was empty and it was kind of getting dilapidated.
It was empty for after COVID 2020. The guy tried it. The guy that bought it from me failed miserably, unfortunately, because of COVID.
Yeah, that's
And he put it up for sale. Then I don't know if he sold it, but it just got very. It sat there empty and nothing was going on for 3 years.
Yeah,
and nothing was maintained. Nature started to overtake the parking lot and a lot of the surrounding areas. And then the roof collapsed.
Right.
And then somebody bought it, and I don't know what that was. And this one guy renovated the whole place. But you know what sucks? It kind of took away from the history because it was always a bar for so many years.
Yeah.
It was a speakeasy back. Remember I told you that story with
Right.
the ghost?
Yeah.
Haunted.
But now it's a mini mart with a gas station, and he rents out 2 other rooms. There's a Tubby's in there. Tubby's steak sandwich place here in Michigan. I don't know if Tubby's is national or not.
Yeah.
I never
The only Tubby's I know of is the chili parlor up in Alexandria, Virginia that made burgers. So it was
only
my
Tubby's
favorite.
I know of is the Tella.
Yeah, but they did a nice job. They redid everything. You couldn't tell that it was a bar at one time because they gutted the place.
Now you're pretty close to Kansas. Manhattan, Kansas has Tubby's Bar and Grill in it.
But I'm not in Kansas, so I've never heard
Well,
of it.
you're closer than I am to it.
Well,
I was just stationed there for a while.
Maybe so. Anywho, guys, we have a conference coming up.
We do.
Yay!
And I'll tell you what, it's going to be here less than a month now.
I know.
A month from today, we'll be over. We'll be recuperating.
Yeah, you're right.
I won't be.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I wish you could make it, Randy.
It's just one of those situations. If I go more than 2 hours away from this place, I'm going to be constantly worried,
Yeah, no, I get it, Randy.
I understand.
I get it.
Yep, totally get it. Totally,
in fact, it's kind of the same with my mom and stuff because a weekend is usually fine. But don't get me wrong, she's okay. She can manage, but I just, I worry about her falling down somewhere, which she's done before. She walked in my backyard and fell down. And then she couldn't get up because she can't get up when she falls down, literally,
Right.
So I'll be gone. What? Shoot. I'll be at your
5 days.
place Wednesday morning.
Yep.
And you're taking me on Monday morning to the airport.
Yep.
But I have my brother's off that week, so he's going to pop in on her every day.
Gotcha.
Which is
That's
perfect.
good.
Thing.
And then tell her if she goes outside, she needs to make sure she has her phone with her. If she does call or something, she can call,
Yeah. Because my backyard is kind of hilly.
Oh, gotcha.
I've fallen down once or twice, but I know where the hills are.
Yeah.
You know where the hills are and you've fallen?
I'm still hitting them, Randy. It's a Friday night. I'm barbecuing, having some pops. You know what I mean?
Pops. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I bet they're pops.
I hear you. I hear you.
Wait a
So
minute.
tonight's show is, Brandy is attending to her mom tonight. So it's on the Watseka Wonder, and it's kind of a cool story. It happened in Watseka, Illinois, and
New member. Ooh.
welcome, Tracy. Welcome to the crazy.
One of us.
Yes, welcome, Tracy. We appreciate you. But so I figured I would kind of read a little bit about it, and there's more to it than what I'm going to read to you guys.
Yeah.
And then we can just kind of discuss it, because some people think it was actually a mental illness that she had. She might have had different personalities, but then some people believe that she truly was possessed by this other entity. So, all right. So for everybody who doesn't know, I'm going to read this to you, and then we'll just talk about it. So Mary Lernacy Venom was born in 1864 near Watseka, Illinois. In the summer of 1877, she suffered a series of epileptic fits, often lapsing into unconsciousness. After awakening, she told her family that she had been to heaven and had seen angels and had visited her younger brother and sister who had died before her. As Venom's fits became more frequent, physicians advised that there was nothing more they could do, and by January of 1878, it was decided she should be placed in an insane asylum. A neighbor and devout spiritualist, Asa Roth, convinced Venom's parents not to commit her and instead call in a physician who was himself a spiritualist, Winchester Stevens. In 1878, physician and spiritualist Winchester Stevens examined Venom. Stevens' accounts were published in the leading spiritualist journal of the time, and later in an 1887 book entitled The Watseka Wonder, in which he described Venom as the most remarkable case of spirit return and manifestation ever recorded in history. According to Stevens, Venom's character would suddenly change from morose and sullen to mystic and imaginary trances, in which she described joyous trips to heaven and visits with angels. According to Stevens, Venom often spoke in different voices and became several different people, including an old woman named Katrina Hogan and a young man named Willie Canning. Stevens claims she remembers the names of several people who had died and had possessed her body, and later chose to be possessed by the soul of Asa Roth's deceased daughter, Mary Roth. Psychological researcher Richard Hodgson of the American Society for Psychological Research was also convinced that Venom was possessed by Roth's spirit. William James briefly mentioned the case in his book, The Principles of Psychology, in 1890. James commented that it is perhaps as extreme as a case of possession of the modern sort as one can find. According to Stevens and Hodgson, Venom allowed Mary Roth to possess her body for about 15 weeks, during which time she could allegedly recognize all of Roth's friends and family. She was familiar with all the objects of the home and could retell incidents and stories from Roth's childhood and her past life. Convinced that Venom was a reincarnation of their daughter, the Roth family allowed the girl to live with them for several weeks. Stephen wrote that Venom later married Roth's spirit, supposedly inhabited Venom, resulting in a painless childbirth for her. Okay, so let's stop there and let's talk about this for right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, where do you even begin? Like, where does this even start?
Well, yeah, I mean, what the heck? I mean, because honestly, you got the people in the medical community saying it's epileptic fits and seizures and such. The minute you go to the spiritualist, it's all of a sudden trances.
Right.
Which one is it? There's a big difference between the two.
Huge difference. Well,
That's like a huge difference. It's like night and day.
Right. But here's the thing. Here's what I kind of think might have happened. Maybe like during one of her epileptic seizures, maybe she died. You know, like and seen the light. You know how you hear about
near death experience type thing.
Yeah. Maybe that happened to her, because they say people with NDEs come back and they are great psychic mediums and like Edward Casey, when he was sleeping, he would get messages. Maybe it was something similar.
That's what I was thinking. But then you talk about the possession later on. I mean, that's a totally
They call
different
it
animal.
possession when she lets Mary.
Well, who called it a possession exactly? Again.
So I'll start off by showing you. Here's a picture of Lorancy Venom. This is her, and it's spelled Vennum. So when I say Venom, I really am saying Venom.
Right.
So that is her. She is the one who was possessed. So the girl who she let inhabit her body is Mary Roth, the daughter of the spiritualist. This is the daughter that had passed away, and she let her come in her body, supposedly. So that's Mary Roth. And then here is the house, the Roth family house, that today people do, like they rent it out for ghost hunts. So,
and they should. I bet it's got insane activity in it, honestly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So, like, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about, like, it could have been an NDE because she never had this before she started having the seizures?
I'll let Rob go with that one.
I think that when you started telling the story earlier, the first thing that clicked in my brain that perhaps she did pass on, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking.
Because I don't think, we talked backstage a little bit, and I read something about the epilepsy. I don't think she was an epileptic person, right?
Mm-hmm. She had some seizures. She did.
But seizures, because you can have a seizure, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have epilepsy.
Yeah,
true.
Correct?
She said it says she suffered series of epileptic fits, often lapsing into unconsciousness,
which is typical for epileptic fits.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, Rob. She didn't have epilepsy. She just had a few seizures.
Yeah, and then maybe, I think, right, Randy, and I think that maybe if it was an actual NDE when she was on the other side, or she didn't go all the way through. But you know how you always hear about people that have these NDEs and they're out of their body, and then how when you're in that you're not crossing over, but you're in that different realm between life and death, how there are other things that can kind of invade your space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe this was some other spirit that kind of got in with her, right? Maybe, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, she
said,
yeah,
they were necromancers. Haunted Soul says possession 100%.
See, and the thing about the necromancer, I always knew this, maybe I'm wrong with this, Haunted Souls, but the necromancy, isn't that the practice of mulling into a corpse and pulling out information from the dead, or from a dead, not the dead soul, but the bones and the blood, dried blood, the marrow of the bones of the body? Talking to the dead. That's what I thought it was, and I could be wrong. But that's what I read.
It is talking to the dead,
Yeah, using the dead to talk to the dead.
Yeah, that is speaking of the dead. Yeah, speaking to the dead. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like, I think that I really, really believe that she was, she had an NDE because, you hear about that all the time. And then she got these abilities. I believe that she was possessed. I do. I believe that maybe possession is a strong word, because you always hear possession with the demonic. But I think she was jumped, put it that way, by other entities, and
they were using her body to communicate.
Right, as a tool.
It wasn't like they were truly quote unquote possessing, even though they were. But when we say possession, everybody thinks demonic, so we don't want it to mean it like that. They weren't malevolent entities that were doing it.
Correct.
And really briefly too, isn't necromancy too associated with the practice of dark magic or dark arts?
Yeah, like Haunted Soul said, the Ouija board is too.
Oh, okay.
Yep. 100%.
So, that's my taking on it. And what I find incredible, just like when she had a child, and, when she had a child, that she didn't have any pain because this other spirit jumped her.
Yeah. And she didn't remember, supposedly she didn't remember any of the times that she was actually possessed / used. It was like she was not there at all. She was asleep through the entire thing and didn't remember a thing, but she could remember names later on.
Correct. And even this family allowed her to move in. Mary Ross' family allowed her to move in because supposedly it was Mary Roth that jumped her. Okay. So, but she knew like things about the house. She knew, memories as a child and things like that. How, if that's not them speaking through them, then what is it? Because I will tell you too, like, the demonic, they will do that too. They will portray themselves as somebody else too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we always hear about the demonic being all this, the perception of being as evil and this being like ghastly figures and fire and the flames of hell. But really, if you look about the demonic, they present themselves as a friend.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I have witnessed weird things on the demonic side that didn't start out as sounding like a demonic entity. So ultimately, and I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just throwing ideas out that we can bounce off each other and talk about, So the demonic will portray themselves as someone else to get you to invite them in. Okay. So let's say, for instance, so Venom let Mary Roth jump her, right?
Which was the daughter?
The daughter, right.
Yeah.
And there's Randy laughing.
So it's just because you say Venom let Mary Roth, and I'm thinking Mary Hartman, and you said Venom. I'm like, Venom's getting out there and getting hold of Mary Roth. I'm like, we got so many word plays we can play with this one right now. It ain't even funny.
No, I lost where I was going with that.
Yeah, you're right. That's fine.
No. So, but my point being is, okay, so she allowed this entity to jump into her, okay? And then therefore the family opened their doors to her, right? You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
And invited her in, correct?
Yeah.
So that was their opening. So that's where I'm saying that it could be the demonic.
It could very well could have been. And it could have played off of everybody because it would have known the stuff that, the Mary Roth would have known.
Exactly. The demons know everything about you.
I like what
but it never turned violent.
Yeah.
This is kind of, I find this interesting in this subject is Haunted Souls said there are two possessions.
Yeah.
Disembodied and demonic. One is the ritual and one is the rite.
Mm-hmm. There you go. You need to have Haunted Souls on Brunch or have them on Beyond, and we'll talk.
I plan on getting them. There's so many people that have
on that. So
I think I got an invitation out to them. I'm not sure, but they're on my list.
Yes, but my point being, though, like I have witnessed things. You guys have heard me talk about to the possessions that. The demonic possessions that I was involved in, and like they don't. So my friend that gets these messages, like it doesn't start out as bad. You know what I'm saying? And my point being is that it truly could be like the demonic that jumped her and possessed her
easily. We can't tell for sure one way or the other.
No, and what they don't talk about is so after this entity got out of her, was there anything going on in the house, any type of hauntings or anything like that?
And that's the other question I had. If you think it's demonic, how many demonic possessions have you seen go that smoothly for them to leave the body?
Right.
It doesn't happen. Once they get in there, they're clawing for dear life to stay in there.
Yeah, and I always thought that being a rookie with the demonic stuff. But I always thought that if you were possessed or if you had a demonic, I guess, possession, right?
Mhm.
That doesn't leave you, right? I mean, you can't, there's no way you can get rid of it without an exorcism. Is that true, or are there things that you can do to eradicate that? I don't know.
So, okay. So the ones that I have been involved in, like they say, like you need the church and this and that, and I do believe that. However, okay, I don't even know how to explain this. The ones that I have witnessed is not normal.
Yeah.
At all, because the person that was involved with this, things happen to him that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And so I can't say, but we helped these people. He truly got rid of these demonic entities from these people. So, I understand people say, and you need a church or you need this or that, but I witnessed it that like we didn't need the church. We had my friend, and he truly did get rid of these entities from these people. So,
Well, I mean, you're talking about possession, like we talked about last night on the other show, on Show and Tell. We were talking about Wendigos, and the belief among the Algonquin speaking people, you didn't get rid of it unless you killed the person.
right.
You had to kill the person to kill the Wendigo.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't think there's any rules in the paranormal. You know what I'm saying? Because like every case is different. And I'm not saying that was a demonic possession that she had.
No.
I mean, it very well could have been this Mary Roth. I don't know, but
Could have been, yeah.
Like I said, there's no rules in the paranormal, so we really don't know exactly what it was that was possessing or channeling through her.
And I think I was also reading something that I think I mentioned backstage about. I think she was during the death of the mother, right? What's the girl's name again?
Mary?
Venom.
Lurency Venom.
Wasn't she fooling around and dating two different men at the same time?
I don't know.
Which was suggested that kind of conjured up her mother's ire, and she got disappointed, and then something was brought out because of that towards her own daughter. I read it like 3 minutes ago before we started the show.
Yeah, I did a quick look there, and you can read the book, The Possessed, too. It goes pretty well in depth on it from what I'm reading on excerpts from it, and he did a lot of research.
Troy Taylor.
Troy Taylor, yeah. He was everything I've read. This dude did a lot of research, and he went in depth to the point that, once again, the Booth brothers created a movie out of it. So, I mean, this guy, the stuff I was reading that he was stating was this girl really had a connection, and that they started the spiritualists that were quote unquote treating her before the Mary Roth incident were actually using and writing down all her fits, for what you want to say, trances, whatever, just like what they did with Edgar Casey. So there's a lot of stuff that they were going back with different people that are deceased that supposedly had gone through her.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? And and that's the thing too, Edgar Casey, there's not a lot of difference with these two cases because he doesn't remember any of it either, as she doesn't. Edgar Casey, he dreamed this stuff. It only happened.
Somebody wrote it down for him.
Yeah. He only did it when he was sleeping. So, I don't know. Why are people like that? Why are certain people like that? What do you think? Do you think it's a gift from God, or do you guys think it's something on the dark side? So Frankie from Haunted Soulz says this aligns with my most active area of study, perfect possession. The darkest of all demonic, it is the perfect possession. There has never been a successful exorcism of the perfectly possessed.
So what I gather from that is to be perfectly possessed. It means that everything, when you start out, everything is a bed of roses, and you don't realize what's actually going on.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and the longer you let this
right,
continue, the more embedded it gets in your soul.
Absolutely. Well, possession starts out as just like a normal little haunting. Your door might close, or things like that. It just starts out like a normal haunting. Yeah.
Well, y'all already know I'm the quote unquote healthy skeptic of everything. Obviously I look at things without blinders, but through non-rose colored glasses either. And there's a lot of times and a lot of stuff I've read that support, like you said, with the perfectly possessed. I understand what they're saying with that. But once again, when we're talking about possession and we're talking about exorcisms and we're talking about different areas of that spiritualism / occult / whatever, when we're talking about that, this is where I come at people and say, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, as a Southern Baptist, we don't believe in possession and exorcism. There's no rites of exorcism. There's nothing along that way. That is mainly a Catholic thing. Okay, a Catholic belief, Catholic ritual, Catholic everything, right?
Yeah.
If you're not a Catholic, how are they gonna do a exorcism on you if you, as the person being exorcised, doesn't believe in that particular area or in that particular situation, shall we say?
Right.
It's like a crucifix. People bring out a crucifix and wave it around, and stuff. What good is that crucifix if you don't believe in it?
Hey,
I can answer that question actually.
Go ahead, Donnie. Good to see you, Donnie. Show us stuff.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey.
So I also grew up not Southern Baptist, but close. I grew up Methodist and
Methodist.
Presbyterian.
Yep.
My dad was actually a church elder, which is if the church pastor is like the CEO, the elders are like the board.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So, and I taught Sunday school for like 5 years. Yeah. I'm flexing my Christian credibility right now. Flexing right now.
Yeah.
So according to like Southern Baptists and Methodists, it's not that they don't believe in possessions.
Yeah.
They don't actively say they don't exist, because the Bible, there are several instances where people get possessed in Jesus' ministry, where the story of Legion, where he forces all those demons into that flock of pigs, right?
Yeah. Which
accounts
for the unclean swine. Yeah.
Yeah. They never say that possession is not a thing. They just don't actively deal in it.
Yeah.
And
they won't touch it. Yeah.
A lot of times, well, some will, because my Presbyterian pastor, he was involved in a few exorcisms. Like, they do occur, but they're so few and far between, because they're not like the first people are going to go to when they're dealing with that kind of problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so I was raised Catholic, but I did go to a Southern Baptist church, actually. And they believe that, like, they don't believe in ghosts. They believe that they're all demons.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I was raised with too. And I was like, that's just impossible. It's just, I'm sorry, you can't sit there and tell me you believe the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit or whatever, and it's they're all demons. Well, what do you just oxymorons yourself out of the way? Okay.
Yeah.
Use your head a little bit. Okay. But I know what you're saying. I mean,
yeah, and that's kind of funny too that you say that, Krista, because in the Catholic Church, again, what you're saying, what Randy says,
Brandish.
Okay, and when we're talking exorcisms, and I'm pretty sure that I'm accurate with this. If you're Catholic and you go and you believe that your daughter or your son is possessed by a demon, and then you go to your Catholic priest, your local priest, where I think that's where you would begin.
Yeah.
What they need to do is they first ask you to send your child to a battery of tests with psychiatrists, this, that, and the other, before they can even get it approved from the head man, whoever that is in the Vatican. The Pope, I don't know, right?
Well, and exorcisms through the Catholic Church have to be approved, and they have to
be
have proof,
approved.
of different
Yeah.
things happening. They're just not going to show up and do an exorcism.
But the thing is, that's to see if it's not a ghost or something mentally wrong with you, yet they don't believe in ghosts, they believe in demons.
Yep. And Frankie says, BMR, all correct.
Well, I asked a pastor about this, my youth pastor back in the day, like about ghosts, because he was also pretty interested in the paranormal, not going on investigations, but he liked to talk about it. And he was interested in the stories, and he said it's not so much that we think ghosts don't exist. It's just that they should be treated the same way we would treat a demon, because any kind of supernatural or paranormal entity that people are dealing with is not of God. Mm-hmm. And if it's a spiritual entity that's not of God, you treat it the same way you would treat a demon. Mm-hmm. Which makes more sense.
Right.
Because anytime a Christian will say to you, hey, the Bible doesn't say that ghosts are real, and you just point out the Witch of Endor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a famous story in the Bible that clearly states that, like, they're doing a
witch.
seance and they're summoning the ghost of the prophet Samuel. And the Bible doesn't say it's a demon pretending to be Samuel. It says straight up, it's his spirit that they brought back through a seance. So, yeah, anytime a Christian says, hey, there are no ghosts in the Bible, you just say, yeah, there is. Which Endor? Mm-hmm. Suck it.
Yeah. Well, so the Baptists, okay, you were talking about, a lot of churches won't help people. And that is so true, because an old team that I was on, we did something on the news on Halloween. I've talked about this before. And it was in the morning and my phone starts blowing up. It was the preacher's wife. She was watching the TV news and saw me on there, and happened to be that night, my team, not me, but my team, Ghost Adventures was in town, and my team was with them at the Exorcist house. And so we had talked some about that, but people could call in and talk about, their hauntings and things like that. So anyway, so my phone's blowing up by the preacher's wife. Okay. So make a long story short, I totally avoided her. And then on that Sunday, I went to church, and they had me stay after church, the preacher and his wife. And they told me, that they had seen me, and that, that I'm messing with the devil. And I said, well, I disagree with you, and I told them, I said, I do this to help people. I said, what about the single mom? If she calls you, are you going to go to her house? Are you going to help her? And he couldn't answer that. Because
he wouldn't. He couldn't.
Right.
He would not be allowed to.
Exactly. He's scared. He was scared to go. So this is why I do this. I don't mess with demons. I don't go around looking for this stuff. I do this to help people. And so it really, really, really ticked me off, actually, that they, were accusing me of the devil's work. Yeah. When, all we did was help people. I was not going to the Exorcist house. I never claimed and said that I was going. Yeah. We were just there taking calls, and it really, really ticked me off. And I quit going to that church.
Well, I'm going to have to side with the pastor and his wife, because if you went over there with he who must not be named, you were playing with the devil. All right. Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, that these people, because they wouldn't have helped anybody, Do you ever hear of them going and blessing homes? Very rarely, because we've had people call us who have had hauntings, and they call their local churches and ask for somebody to come and just do a blessing on their house, and they get turned down. Why? Well, when there's people like us that we believe them. We go and we help them for free.
I hate to be redundant. It just reminds me, I'm not going to tell that story. It reminds me of the story, one of Donny's favorites, by the way. Remember I told us a long time ago about that pastor, the transient pastor? We went from town to town.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this demonic dog was appearing in the window of this young couple's every night. And this is a transient preacher town to town. And then all of a sudden they asked the preacher, please come bless our house. This is what we have going on.
Yeah.
And this preacher, I mean, again, today, to this day, he shouldn't be a preacher. He shouldn't be a man of the Lord.
Right.
He turned him away. Said, go seek help. You're mentally ill.
Exactly. And you know what? That preacher told me, that don't let the other people in the church know what I do. I'm like, no, I'm not even cool with that, because you know what? It was actually then that I was like, you know what? F everybody else. This is what I do, so that's when I kind of, I guess, come out of the closet about it. I didn't hide it anymore, and I quit going to church.
Well, some denominations are a little more open to it than others, for sure. Yeah. I know Methodists are a little more open to it. Pentecostals are more open to it.
Yep.
And I think just regular Christian churches are more open to it, the kind that are non-denominational, like you said,
Well, at the risk of offending Baptists, I'll say it straight out, because I was born and raised a Southern Baptist. We are the most closed-minded people in the world.
Yeah.
Period. Bar none. The only ones that are even more closed-minded than us would be fanatical Islam. And I notice I did not say Islam.
Right.
I said fanatical in Islam. Big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like I say all the time, I'm not a religious guy. I was brought up Catholic. I haven't been to church in 30 years. Not because I don't believe in God, I do, but being a Catholic, and 3 of the Catholic churches throughout my lifetime, all 3 priests, pastors, got busted for negligent behavior. Well, I'm just going to leave it at that. And that's not really why I stopped going to church, but you don't have to go to church if you have a higher power, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And I actually just recently started going back to church with my son, but it's a non-denominational church. It's Christian. They go by the Bible, and that's all I care about. So
I mean,
all you should care about.
I too also recently started going to like this big Korean church, but I really, guys, I only go to meet women. I'll be honest.
Well, that's a nice place to pick up women, I heard.
And this is why he's still alone.
Well, you know what, though? I told my son the same thing, that he could meet women at church to join, like,
I've seen that
or something.
Yeah, but I don't want to meet women at church because they're a little too not my type.
Yeah, I got my son.
That depends. You ain't met the right ones. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Well, they say like the preacher's daughters are the worst, so you got to find one of those.
I don't know.
Anyways, this is not Donny Trump says stuff. But
No, this is derailed.
I always gotta derail things. I'm sorry, guys.
Donny,
what's the matter with you, man?
Derail it.
Yeah.
Hey, I put it out on Facebook. I take that back. I put out on Facebook that we were taking over the Blondes. I originally put it, we were invading the Blondes, and it would not let me share it. It literally killed it because I said invaded.
Because it was problematic wording. The verbiage
They're going to think problematic wording when I finish up my feedback to them.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And just to sum up the church thing, I believe people can be good Christians and good people. You don't have to have a church to, believe in God and do your prayers and things like that. Because I pray all the time. I pray every day.
I pray each and every night. I've always done that throughout my life. Don't need a church for that. You guys, maybe too, because I went to church Monday through Friday from 1st grade to 7th grade. I could recite the entire liturgy.
Yeah.
Even now.
The eulogy.
Eulogy. Well,
eulogy. I hope not.
Well, I thought you called it. What'd you call it? Liturgy.
Liturgy. The liturgy.
Liturgy.
Yep.
Liturgy. Okay.
The other thing you said, I think, is when someone's passed on, I believe, right?
Yeah, I don't want you to be. You don't need to memorize those, okay?
I've done a couple of those in the last year. But anyway,
me too.
But anyway, bottom line is, hey, listen, I believe and love God. Boom. He gives me what I need.
Yeah.
and that's it. You know, you got to have a belief system. That's all.
Yep. So real quick on the
Yeah.
possession or mental illness, what do you guys think about? I truly believe, there's so many insane asylums around the country, and how many of those people that were in there shouldn't have been in there. Maybe they had this of what was the same thing that was going on with Venom, things like that I believe that a lot of these people, or were mediums. They would hear voices in their head, and
Then,
they shouldn't have been in there.
Perfect. I can cite something perfectly because I know Brandy wants to visit this place. Krista, I know you do. Is Eloise here in Michigan?
We talked about it as a team.
Eloise Asylum, 1800s. If you thought your wife, if you wanted to get rid of your wife, you sent them to Eloise.
Wow.
And they said you were insane, and they experimented on the women. All of this, it was a terrible place to go to back in the 1800s. Now it's open for tours. I visited this place when it was condemned, and I snuck in with some friends and
I
investigated
remember you
some
talking about
things,
that. Yeah.
and got some really weird photographs about a ghost on a gurney. We're slapping off. We're taking pictures on our throwaway cameras. We had like 100 pictures, and one had a ghost on a gurney.
Yeah.
Because we were in the underground tunnels. But all the people, not just women, of course, but a lot of the richer men, the aristocrats during the days, would send their wives there just to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So
That's
many
awful.
people that had people without mental illness was sent there by men. And there's over 1,200 unmarked graves in the back of the Eloise Asylum.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unmarked.
So Haunted Souls as a team, we are actually talking about hopefully going up there. That would be awesome.
That's in Michigan?
It's in
Yes,
Michigan.
wow.
It's like an hour from me. And I went there when I was in my 20s before it got condemned. And I did some, we were ghosts. I had some ghost hunting pals. I wasn't into it, to be honest, but they were hot looking chicks. So I went with them.
That's the only reason why I go.
Yeah.
Ever.
And, but I got to tell you what, it was so spooky. It was so spooky to see that image of a ghost on a gurney. And then when I started researching it later, when I got a little bit older, getting involved with this place was a horrific place. They treated their patients. They did the lobotomies. They did experiments.
They loved handing out them lobotomies back in that day.
Yes,
They really did.
and I got to tell you, it is creepy. Now they remodeled the front of it, but they still left like the first and second floor the same. And it's been on now. Who's that guy that Brandy likes? Or Krista, maybe you like him, or maybe it's Monica. Josh Gates did a special
he
on
did.
it.
He did.
And it's very good. It's a very good special with him.
Yes.
And so it's like, so you can do ghost investigations there. It's $1,500.
Wait, which one? Which one were you talking about? For at Eloise, right?
It's
Yeah.
$1,500
per group.
He also did one on the Upper Peninsula too. Remember?
Yes, he did that. Another great place, Mackinac Island.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another.
He even brought the
haunted
Ghost
place.
Brothers in on that.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
That was awesome too.
But hey, with a big enough group, that's a reasonable price if you have a big enough
Yeah,
group.
yeah.
But I was reading on, the Ghost Brothers in 2021 did the Mary Roth house.
Did they?
Yeah.
I did
They
not know
went and
that.
investigated. I didn't know it either until I just read it.
Watch that.
It's at the very bottom of the Watseka under Wikipedia. In 2021 Travel Channel series Ghost Brothers, Mary Roth's former house was investigated for her lingering spirit. It caught me off guard because I didn't read that far down. I was like, oh, because I got to the 2009 about the possessed book, and then the movie after that. I was like, oh, this is cool. But then I read that, like, man, I like those guys because one of them's from here in Fort Worth. So.
Yeah, they are hilarious. They're on my bucket list to ghost hunt with.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I've never met them, but I've heard they're really, really good guys.
Juwan is one who lives here, I think. Or
Juwan, Dalen, and
or maybe it was Dalen. I can't remember. Either
I
way,
remember. But
I digress. Sorry. But again,
So
we're talking about.
I was asking question, and that's the thing about But anyway, Randy, go ahead.
I don't remember now. You caught me off guard.
I tend to talk too long. I'm sorry.
No, I forgot what I was going to say. I did say it. I think I said it about the because I wanted to get the Ghost Brothers thing in there because we were talking about the Mackinac Island and the Upper Peninsula, and it just segued from Ghost Brothers into their thing of Mary Roth. Now I've got to go find that episode and watch and see what they found because I didn't even see it.
Okay,
I didn't know about it.
Yeah. So I need to go watch that too because that's pretty interesting. And that Watseka, it's in Illinois, which is just a state over. So I need to go check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
might be a bucket list place to go, go check out. So yeah. I don't know though. What's that?
No, we were talking about Illinois, and I always think about the Southern Illinois slave house is one of the ones I always wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if it's still open or not, though.
I don't even know where that is.
I'll have to look it up, but there used to be a challenge back in the 80s and mid 90s, up to the mid 90s.
Mm-hmm.
The owner of the place offered $3,000 to anybody who could stay there overnight by themselves. Never was actually fulfilled.
Nobody could do it?
Nobody could do it. There was a malevolent spirit in there that they say was just one of the slaves that was there, and he did not like people at all.
So
We're talking about throwing stuff, running people out.
Like, a lot of the people that I know who've been investigating for a long time, I don't see any of them running out like a little girl, including myself or Brandy.
Yeah, and if I could, I'll find it and I'll send y'all the links to it. Because, like I say, I don't think it's still open. I think the city and the state had taken it over as a historical landmark, so I don't think it's open for it anymore.
I'm all about making $3,000. All I got to do is spend the night there.
I said the same thing, but I never made it over there.
Send me the
I'll
link.
sleep like a baby. I'll sleep like a baby. Watch me.
Yeah.
So, who was that said something out there? Kitty cat, whatever that kitty person.
Kitty.
Do not take any screenshots, especially when I'm posing. All right.
Now, there's so many different haunted locations, though, that, like these asylums and stuff. And I just think like a lobotomies, like how awful was that? And a lot of these people, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people who should have been in there, but not as many as that was in there. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
And then, back in the day, as you said, Rob, just to get rid of, or Randy, one of you guys, to get rid of your wife.
Yeah, that was Eloise.
Yeah.
These rich men, they were sick of their wife, wanted to move on. They sent them there, and they were admitted under psychiatric pretenses, and when they were perfectly fine.
Well,
and then what they did is they experimented on them and made them nuts, cut up their brains.
Yeah,
or what?
Because to me, I'd rather be in prison than an insane
It
asylum.
reminds me of the Germany, the Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With who was that? Dr. Goebel? What's his name? There's so many different names.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still back in the day, like how easy it was. Malvern Manor, same thing. There is a room there that a lady, her husband, just dropped her off and she had to stay there. And she was so depressed that she started pulling her hair out and she quit eating and she died there. It's a very sad story, but just because her husband, didn't want nothing to do with her anymore, he was done with her. So that's another thing. So how often does that happen? And you know what, Barbara, she makes a good point there with women, husbands thinking their wives are crazy or they need to go in. Hormones.
Well, that was also a time when the suffrage movement was picking up steam. So there were a lot of wealthy and aristocratic men who felt like their wives were getting a little too uppity, and they would have.
Can you imagine what would have happened to her? Can you imagine what would have happened to Lunacy if she had been at the time when they were first bringing in the lobotomies, the spike lobotomies, where they went up underneath the nose and into the brain or into the eye, into the brain and stuff. That'd have been the first thing they did. We're going to adjust her right now, and that's another thing. The the wife of these guys that you talk about, all these people that drop them off, if they'd have had the access to do lobotomies, they'd go do lobotomies so they'd have more docile wife. That's exactly what they'd do.
Yeah. And even, what's really sad too, we talk about, like kids, kids that, have, that are on the spectrum, how many of those kids were in places that they shouldn't have been in asylums and things like that. So a lot of these, I feel like it would have, like you said, made you go crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Put me in prison over an insane asylum. Seriously. I think I could deal with prison better.
That's what they all say.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they ain't doing lobotomies, they're just doing electroshock. I go to the insane asylum.
Yeah. It's just really sad. Yeah. What they did to people and stuff, it just.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To us now, once again, you got to look at the time frame. You can't take it out of context, drop it. Like a lot of people take stuff from back in the 30s and drop it into our time frame and say, this was bad because of, they didn't know that back then.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Yep. I just, I don't know. I feel for a lot of people in those asylums, because a lot of them shouldn't be there. Did
Rob
we lose
said,
Rob?
screw it, I'm gone.
We lost Rob.
Did we not let him talk enough? Is that what it was?
What happened to Rob?
I don't know.
His internet went out. Probably his internet went out.
Could be his internet.
He said, screw you guys, I'm going home.
He's funny. He probably actually lost his internet. That happens to him.
A lot.
A lot. I know. So anyway, I don't know. It's just, for me, for the Watseka Wonder, I just believe that she really, truly had gifts. And I think they're gifts, but she, I'm
with you on it. I think so too. I kind of equate her. Did you ever see the movie Frighteners with Michael J. Fox? He had the wreck.
I might have.
He had a wreck as
there
a
he
kid, and he got the ability to see ghosts after he had the wreck, and he would go and talk to the ghosts that were in the graveyard and such. But that's what I think might have happened with her. If she had what we were talking about with an NDE, she has that experience. She has that brain injury, if you want to call it that. All of a sudden, it's opened up a portal that she can use, or that they can use to use her through.
Can I tell you guys a pretty messed up quick story? Actually,
we're all here.
I knew
back, Rob.
Yeah. So
I know what happened there, but whatever.
So I knew this girl who she was telling me about her ex-boyfriend at the time, who, in her words, was like one of the most beautiful souls she had ever met. Like, this guy was like really nice, well liked, well loved. He was the kind of person that animals would go up to. He was like a really sweet person, and she was incredibly loyal to him. Well, one day he gets into a really bad car accident, and he's in a coma for a couple of weeks. And she's distraught. Her whole family's distraught. She's visiting him every day at the hospital until she gets the call from his mom saying that he woke up. So she's super excited, right? She buys like a bunch of flowers. She's rushing over to the hospital to greet him. And she told me that the first thing she saw when she entered his room, he had a black marking pen and he was scribbling like satanic like symbols and imagery into the walls.
Wow.
Huh.
And she said that when he came out of the coma, she was like, that wasn't him.
Really?
And she had to end things with him right away because his personality went 180. He started doing really dark stuff. He started getting into like, just out of the blue after his coma, he started getting into like gory internet, like death videos and just really dark stuff. All of a sudden started like taping up his windows all black and getting into like all this satanic and like death metal. Like, it was a complete 180. And she said that it was the accident, and her belief is that he never came back from that coma. Basically, what came out of the coma was something else entirely.
Yeah.
Wow.
We hear stories about that all the time.
That kind of stuff could happen.
About it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's scary.
It is.
Okay. Mental note to self: don't get in a coma. All right.
No.
Nobody can handle anymore.
That dude never came back. That guy, wherever
No.
he went, he never came back.
Yeah.
I wonder how
Almost
often
like
that happens.
Yeah, it's like another entity or another spirit took its place in the body.
Mhm.
You know, type.
Yeah.
Does anybody really knows what happens to you when you go into a coma with your brain activity?
No, because I've never been in a coma. But I mean, the way I understand it, you drop alpha waves a little bit, and you're like in a deep sleep.
Hmm.
You just the basic functions are what's going. If I'm not mistaken, from an EEG, it's just literally the basic functions are going, and there is no real. I don't want to say higher brain functions, but there technically really isn't any higher brain functions going. You're really out. You're gone.
Yeah, it depends on the condition because there's a coma and then there's a persistent vegetative state.
Mhm.
And then there's like the locked body syndrome. I don't remember the exact word where you're actually conscious, but your body's just locked up, but it looks like you're in a coma.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm wondering too. I bring that up only because, like, I guess there's mild comas, there's deep ones that you're just talking about, Donnie.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if some people, where they're maybe in a mild coma, that where the person comes out of it a day later, a week later, a month later. I'm wondering if that opens you up to other forces. I'm wondering if the energy from your body leaves your body and it travels to maybe a different dimension.
Well, yeah, like Haunted Souls was saying, Frankie out there was saying the astral projection.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, you're essentially your essence is going on a different plane of existence at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah. But you know what, though, too, when people are in a coma. So when my grandma died, she was in a coma. And, they had said it was, like to call the family in. It was me and my daughter there, call the family in and say our goodbyes and this and that. And so when my daughter, it was actually her last day of her senior year, believe it or not, this happened. And the day after her birthday. But I'd waited for her to go to school. And then I held my grandma's hand, and I'm telling you, my grandma was in a coma. Like, she wasn't responsive to anything. And I told her, go be with your sister, grandpa, blah, 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 blah. Had that talk with her. And she squeezed my hand. And I kid you not, my brother doesn't believe me, but I swear on the Holy Bible, I told her, I said, I love you, Granny. And she said, I love you too. And that was the last thing she ever said. But she
Like
said,
audibly?
yeah, audibly. Yes, she said it.
Oh.
But she was in a coma. I'm telling you, my brother doesn't believe me, but it's honest to God's truth. It happened. So I feel privileged. I
Wow.
feel honored. I
That's
was the
pretty
last
cool.
one she actually spoke to. Yeah. So I believe that they can hear, everything you say, and
Yeah.
I don't doubt that. I mean, because people have talked about people coming out of comas and remembering people reading to them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right.
It's different for different people because you can actually go on like message boards for like Reddit, and there's like message boards of like people who've been in comas. Tell us about your memory or your experience. And I actually read a few. They're all different. It depends on the individual person and the type of coma and what condition they're in the coma for. Often has a big to do with about that. But yeah, that's pretty amazing. Hey, Krista, did she like open her eyes? How did she say it exactly? Was it like very audible or was it like a whisper?
She just said, I love you too. And she squeezed
Just like
my
in that
hand.
tone?
I was holding her hand. She said, I love you too. And squeezed my hand. She never opened her eyes.
now, see, in
But
that
it was
situation,
audible.
I'm going to say
It was terrible.
that was probably more of I shouldn't say an astral projection, but it was her spirit coming back just long enough to give you peace.
Yeah, because she wasn't gone yet. And so that was probably like 6 o'clock in the morning, and she passed about 4 o'clock that afternoon.
Yeah, but if she was at a comatose state until that point right there, that she was probably already gone, and it came back long enough to let you know, and then it was gone again.
Could be very well. Yeah. But like I said, my brother thinks I'm full of crap, but I swear to God, it's true. It happened, and
You had to be there to see it. So
yeah, it was just me and her in the room.
Jeez.
So, and then, you have somebody like my cousin who had an NDE, and he had a stroke, and he was brought back, and he was ticked at the world that he was brought back because he seen his dad. He was going up some steps, and he said that his dad shut the door on him, and he was mad at the world for the last 3 years. And in February, he unalived himself, and it just so he actually changed for the worse, because he wanted to die. He was mad at the world that he was stopped from going. So it's weird how different things like with death affect different people.
It's such a fascinating subject because I remember telling this story before briefly about this man had a heart attack. He was having a heart attack. His wife took him to the emergency room, and he was taken into the ER, and he was in the room and he was being worked on by all the doctors. The man was still alive. And he was losing consciousness, and he was getting close to passing on. Then all of a sudden, on the gurney, or not the gurney, but on the hospital bed that he was being worked on, he remembers that what he was telling me is he passed away. Remember the doctors saying, well, we lost him. They pronounced the time of death. Now he says about 20 seconds prior to announcing his time of death, during this experience, he says that he floated out of his body, and he was kind of hovering at the ceiling, and he was looking back down at himself being worked on by the doctors, and he could hear every single word that the doctors were saying. And as this man is lingering above, he saw light, and then something was spoken to him like, are you ready to go on or go back? Like he was given a choice. And then he says, no, I want to go back, because he saw his wife weeping. I guess they let her in the room, which to me is unheard of. But maybe when you're about to expire, maybe they let you in. I don't know. I want to go back. And so all of a sudden he remembers waking up. He back to consciousness in the hospital room. The doctors are all befuddled, like, oh, holy cow. And he kind of they get him revived. He wakes up, and he recited back the doctors stating his time of death and all these other things. And they were just flabbergasted at this. So I've heard similar stories like that. But then what I found most fascinating is that he had made mention that he was offered somehow in his mind when he was floating above the table, do you want to continue towards the light or go back? Saw the wife weeping, said go back, and he was brought back. So it begs the question, do we have that opportunity for some people,
right,
to elect to go on, or just to go on with life, or just go to the light?
right.
I just don't know if we have that option in life.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, my thing is, I think if people, they do the right thing and they try to live as a good person, and I think we all will eventually go to the light. If we're a bad person, then we're not going to see the light for sure. Just try to do the right thing and be a good human being. I think you'd be right.
True.
That's just my opinion.
I mean, because I heard that you can choose whether to go on or not, depending where you're traveling. Obviously, you're traveling. If you feel heat and see flames, no, keep me. And some people would choose the light, especially if you're elderly and you're the only one left and you want to see your family, then I'll go to the light.
Yeah.
It's just weird that was suggested that we have an option. I don't think we do personally. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because I think
I
we
don't
would all
think we have
choose
an
to stay. I
option.
think we all would choose to stay on the planet Earth.
Not me.
Well,
Not me. I'd rather go to heaven one day.
Well, I want to go to heaven
I don't want to
eventually.
stay here in hell. To me, this is hell.
This could be hell on Earth, as they
Thank you,
always
Mike.
say.
oh, I want to
Hey, thank you,
evolve
Mike.
into a Q. That's what I want to do. I want to evolve into a Q. I want to snap my fingers and make a
Edgar Casey described this world, this reality that we're in right now, the living world, as
Mhm.
from the point of view of the other side, the way they see us, they call it
Yeah.
an arena.
Mm,
like they're watching type
Yeah.
thing.
okay,
It makes sense. An arena.
Yeah.
it sure does.
And we're the players.
Yeah. We're the
We're the
NPCs.
Mhm.
We're the gladiators.
Yeah, that's why, I just think, being a good person and,
I believe in that.
doing the right thing,
If- If they're sitting there with little game pads and stuff like that with us, and they're my guy's sitting there going, "Hey, I need to trade with somebody. My guy ain't doing crap. My guy sucks. Can we trade?"
Yeah, and I don't want to bring up the church thing, but one thing that really always flamed me was they scare you as a kid growing up in Catholic school. If you lie to your mom and dad, you're going to hell.
right.
If you do this, everything was you're going to hell. So it's almost like, what
Yeah.
can I do? Put me in a straitjacket in a bedroom where I can't, do anything bad or wrong to go to heaven. And that
Mhm.
always was a turnoff for me too.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know,
if you look at people that are religious, and don't get me wrong, I'm a believer, but I'm just
Sure.
not an active, churchgoer or anything like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I tend to look at things through a different eye than I did back then. But when you sit there and think about it, the creator, whichever one Allah, God, whatever you want to call it, however you want to say it, gave you free will. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's up to you what you do with it after that.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Absolutely.
hmm
So,
I couldn't
Yeah,
agree.
I don't believe in hell as the way it is advertised
Yeah.
by mainstream
Yeah.
Christianity.
hmm
I don't believe in that version of hell. Like I do believe there is something like it. I do
Yeah.
believe a hell exists, but I think it's a little bit more nuanced than the way it's been advertised to us.
yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
What was it? I think back to the Lucifer TV show. It wasn't that he was the devil per se. Lucifer was the punisher of evil deeds,
Mm-hmm.
is what he was, or
Hmm.
supposed to have been.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Just, kind of crazy stuff. Somebody said something. Frankie had mentioned what's the guy, the cowboy? Wyatt Earp, his last
Yeah.
word.
Morgan, or it was Morgan's
Morgan.
brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then
I was talking to him about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Anton LaVey too, didn't he?
Yeah. Said there's
Yeah,
something very wrong.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's how
Snopes
you-
said that. Snopes debunked that, but then again, it's Snopes. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But still, even if that is true, like Anton LaVey, he was
Well, I got
Mr.
it.
Satan himself.
Well, I
the
got
father
it.
of Taylor Swift.
Hey, yeah, and I gotta tell you something. I heard his wife on a podcast many years. Not when I was a rerun. I think it was Art Bell. His wife
Yeah.
was on Art Bell's show. She spoke so eloquently, and you would not think that she was the wife of this guy. And then
Mhm.
Art Bell had said after the show that he actually had to replay the show because he says, I've got Anton LaVey's wife on, founder of the Church of Satan or whatever it was, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess this interview was so smooth. She was so eloquent, and she was so full of life and energy. And then I guess a few days later, he went back on the show and says, "I was expecting chains and flames and grotesque images that she was going to portray."
Mhm.
Right? He goes, "When I listened back, I was even more creeped out because he realized what she was saying. She was like the attorney for the devil.
Hmm.
Wow.
Everything is beautiful."
Wow.
He says, when I listened to it back, he says, it was the creepiest thing I ever heard when I put it in that perspective.
Mhm.
Hmm.
because she was a silver-tongued devil.
You ever read? They came out with their own version of like the Church of Satan Bible. I didn't read the whole thing, but I did flip through it. Do you ever? They came up with the 11 Commandments.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that almost sounds like going to the volume 11 in Spinal Tap. Okay.
Would you like for me to read them to you? They're kind of goofy.
Go for it, Donny.
Okay.
What are these commandments from?
So these are the 11 commandments in the Satanic Bible for the Satanic Church started by Anton LaVey.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's
All
hear
right.
'em.
Commandment number 1. Do not give opinions or advice unless you are asked. Commandment number 2. Do not tell your troubles to others unless you are sure they want to hear them. Commandment number 3. When in another person's home, show them respect, or else do not go there. I could get behind commandment number 3.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
don't
all
mind-
3 of them so
I don't
far.
like all
Yeah,
3 are
right.
good.
Commandment number 4. If a guest in your home annoys you, treat them cruelly and without mercy.
Oh boy. Okay.
Well, I don't know about that one, but okay.
Okay. Commandment number 5. Do not make sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal.
And what is
Okay.
the mating signal?
I don't know.
Wait.
Command-
We're in blonde. You know what the mating call for the blonde is, right? I'm
What's that?
so drunk.
Oh God.
Oh, commandment number 6. Now, this can be interpreted a whole bunch of different ways. Do not take that which does not belong to you unless it is a burden to the other person and they cry out to be relieved.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. Commandment number 7. Acknowledge the power of magic if you have employed it successfully to obtain your desires.
Okay.
If you deny the power of magic after having called upon it with success, you will lose all you have obtained.
Oh boy. Okay.
Commandment number 8. Do not complain about anything to which you need not subject yourself. Commandment number 9. Do not harm young children. We could get behind that.
Yeah, I'm behind that.
Yeah, I'm with that one. What about the older children? It should be just don't.
Oh, no, drop kick those fools. Yeah.
This should be just children in
Yeah.
general.
No, Commandment number 10. Do not kill non-human animals unless you are attacked or for food.
So non-human would be just animals in general.
Now, the last one, number 11, is my favorite. When walking in open territory, bother no one. If someone bothers you, ask them to stop. If they do not stop, destroy them.
Oh boy.
Wow. I had
That's
no
11
idea.
commandments of the Church of Satan, guys.
What's really bad is that a lot of that is kind of common sense too.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I can get behind half of them at least. A couple, no.
Just destroy them, Rob.
Just
Well-
destroy. Yeah. You're
We
invading
got
my
the mating call.
space.
Yeah.
You must be destroyed.
You're saying Anton LaVey created the first blonde joke, right? And I'm kind of confused. That doesn't sound like it should be in the Satanic Bible.
Oh.
Yeah.
It should be in a bar somewhere.
It's crazy. I'd never heard that before.
Well,
I
the
need-
Anton LaVey version of the Church of Satan wasn't the real Church of Satan. It was more just a really
It was
Hollywood
an
version.
Anton LaVey
Yeah.
thing.
It wasn't the serious Church of Satan that people actually have to worry
Now
about.
that would be interesting.
Yeah, it was more of a. It was like a hippie. It was like a hippie movement, kind of like a.
Mhm.
It's an excuse to party and get laid. That's all it was. Really, that's all it was. Really.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean, that's really what it was. Because I've listened to interviews with like actual members of the actual Church of Satan, and they said that the thing that Anton LaVey started, they thought of that as a joke. That wasn't the real deal. It was just Hollywood hipsters trying to party and act cool. So
Interesting. I seen on one of the ghost shows that they investigated Anton LaVey's house.
I'm sure
Oh,
they did.
wasn't
And
that-
I'm sure he
wasn't
did
that
try
one
to
of
do
the,
some magical stuff for
I'm
sure.
fairly certain. Wasn't
Yeah.
that the
Yeah.
not Portals to Hell, but the one that He Who Must Not Be Named does? God, it's not the Ghost Adventures. It was the other one he was doing, like something highway or some Devil's Highway or something.
Oh yeah, I know. Roth Files, Eli Roth or something.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah.
All I know is I won't watch anything with him in it anyway. So if I hear "dude" one more time in the middle of a daggum paranormal investigation, I'm gonna poke my own eyes out. Okay,
Dude. I hear you.
dude, bro, did you hear that?
Now they say dude. Oh, I say dude once in a while. Well, quite often.
Not like he does.
But whenever you see a demon, Rob, do you gain the urge to rip your shirt off
if I see
and then scream out, "Come at me, bro!
Come at me, dude!" No, not at all.
No, that's Tex. Tex does that.
Well, Tex will.
Well, he'll keep his shirt on at least, though.
Well, yeah, he does keep his shirt on. Thank
Tex
God.
eggs on the demons, right, Randy?
What's that?
Tex eggs on the demons. Remember
he eggs on everything. He tried to egg
the...
on the Dogmen. He tried to egg on the Bigfoots.
Yeah.
He tried to egg on.
Well, I still blame Tex for the scratches Randy got when he was calling out that demon in that little tight closet that he was up in. You know, he's all went up to.
Oh no, that was it. Wasn't me that got him. It was Bobby. Bobby got
the scratches. Yeah. He was. You guys were playing poker with the devil, so to speak.
Well, no, we were playing poker with Willie, who was one of the entities of the house. He was the gambler.
Yeah.
And we actually had intelligent responses using the K2 meter.
Yeah.
So the one bit where he was in we call it the scrying room or whatever you want to call it, where it's the cupboard under the stairs. I made a Harry Potter joke at him when he went in there, you know, like, hey, you're going to do the Harry Potter thing, get in the cupboard, you know, get after it. And he goes in there, and we're in there. Rocky and Ron from used to be Odyssey Radio when we used to have our shows on there. Yeah. They were there with us. They shoved furniture in front of the door so he couldn't get out. He didn't know that, but then again, nothing ever happened. So, but yeah, it's telling y'all that's the next thing. We're going to do a team event at Hill House. It's coming. Just get ready. It's coming.
Yeah, I probably won't come to Hill House.
Why? Don't be scared.
I just really, it's not really my thing. I don't go investigate places unless it's for a reason.
Well, it is a reason. I want to do it. That's the reason. It's done.
Yeah, it's just not my thing. I don't mind going to help people or to help locations. That I will do, but to pay money to go and ghost hunt, that's not my thing.
Haven't you been there before?
No, Brandy.
Yeah,
Brandy has. Oh,
Brandy has. Mm-hmm. And Brandy likes doing that kind of stuff. You know. Yeah. So.
Fine.
Anyway.
We'll leave Krista at home and we'll go have fun.
I'll stay home. I'll stay home.
I've been to like a number of those, but I always try to, you know, be as respectful to the ghosts as possible. I don't try to mess with them like that.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what they're capable of.
No,
yeah, I will do investigations, but you know, like with public investigations, but it's helping locations. So I don't mind doing those. It's the ones that just like to go and you know, pay money to go and do. It's just not my thing. And Brandy loves it. Brandy goes all over the US and does that.
Yeah.
You know?
Because quite frankly, you know, there's a lot of places that you can't go to them without paying anymore. So
right. Oh, most of them you gotta pay.
Yeah. So
but it's worth it if you go with a good group.
Now.
It's worth it, I think. It's always a fun time if you go with the right people.
Yeah.
Although I will say, if my team comes up to Eloise next year, I think I'll probably have to make
no. We're not picking and choosing. That ain't happening.
No, I pick and choose.
Well, Eloise does have a lot of creepy history. And in fact, we could probably, the way I think, the cemetery with the 1,200, it's like, I said 1,200, I think it's closer to 2,000. The place is so vast, we could probably all sneak on. Just bring some wire clippers and snip a fence.
Yeah, I'm not about going to jail.
Well, come on, you're not going to jail.
No, thank you.
Just get a couple of.
That's exciting.
A couple of misdemeanors. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this has been fun, guys, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't really know how we got sidetracked, you know, after this, but it's just how we roll, right?
Well,
Yeah.
we did your subject matter for a good solid hour, really.
We did.
Or
We did.
45, 50
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, we did. But it's
And we're
yeah.
still up in the air on it.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I think it's the subject
really-
matter that kind of caused it to springboard and blossom into all these
Yeah.
other directions, which is
Yes.
totally fine, I think.
I do like
But-
subject matter does have
Yeah.
the springboard effect too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
mean, we talked about everything from demonic
Yeah.
possession to dying, so it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. How now that's weird how we got on that. Yeah.
I know, right? So anyway, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Tomorrow night, hopefully Brandy will be back. If not, might be one of these guys with me again. Who knows?
Maybe all of us. Who knows?
Yeah, you guys are actually welcome. Our
You
Friday
never
night
know.
show, we never have a ghost.
No, I ain't doing it. I refuse now.
You're refused now, huh? And then Saturday night, Paranormal Paul. We've all kind of had some bad months here with personal issues
Yeah.
and
All of us,
loved
yeah.
ones passing away and things like that. So I think a bunch of us are going to hang out with Paul on Saturday at 7 p.m. So tune in there. And it's
And then
just
we're
gonna be
rolling.
And then we'll roll over to my show because my show
Yeah.
that night is just going to be a free for all. All you guys are invited.
Oh, okay.
Roll
So
So
over
then-
it's going to
that.
be an open invitation.
And there-
And
He better
We'll just
watch
continue
out.
on.
That one over down there. Him over
Yes.
there. That one.
Yes.
Yeah. He better watch out. He might get invaded too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, then I'm on
Yeah.
after Donny. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be
So
all
just tune in
evasion.
to all of us, guys. Like
It
I
might
said,
be an all evasion night Saturday. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've all been going
Yeah.
through a lot of stuff, and all of
Yeah.
us as the whole island of misfits, honestly.
Yeah.
And so, just tune in. It's we're just going to try to be light and have great shows and great camaraderie and
Yep.
chat with all of you, our friends in chat, and
Yep.
it's just it's going to be fun. So
Be a
join us
fun
on
week.
Saturday for all 3 shows.
Should be nice and fun because, as you well know, less than a month we're all going to be out, except for Randy. Well, he's got to take a mom and dad.
Yeah, man. I social. I admit it.
Yeah, well, we got.
If I
that
like
conference.
people, it'd be different.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, we do have that big conference coming up, y'all.
we
Mhm.
do.
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
Come and see
Under a
us.
month. Under a month now.
I
A
know.
day under a month. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rob, you and I are going to be sleeping in the same area in a haunted location together.
We are, Donnie. Me and
Yeah.
you, man. We have to check that place out at the ranch.
I'm staying at the ranch too.
Yeah, with Krista's. Well, good.
We'll all be
guys
sleeping in a
wanna
haunted
watch
location together.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I
Yeah.
know where the activity happens in which rooms.
Oh.
Oh. Is the
Mm.
shower? I'm still kind of leery about this community shower bit.
Okay, so let's explain this ranch to you.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so there is a men's bathroom and there is a women's bathroom. Both bathrooms have showers.
Oh,
But they're open
Okay.
bay showers, right?
No, they got shower curtains and stuff. There's doors that shut.
oh, okay.
It's
Oh,
not,
each of the
it's not a
stalls?
free for all, Rob.
But I say, what the heck? I thought it was gonna be like an old.
I thought it was like a
barrack
dude
shower.
ranch, or
No.
all that-
It's not prison.
I thought there was like a trawl back there where you go take a,
Oh,
Number
Rob's worried that we all have to shower together.
yeah, I gotta
Make
watch
everybody
Donnie's
smile.
back
No,
and shit
We
like
do
that.
not have to shower together. Absolutely
That
not.
old
One at a
saying.
time. One at a time.
Okay, very
That
good.
old saying, "Make your buddy smile."
Yeah. Don't drop that soap, Rob. You don't know where I'll be.
I'm bringing Sasquatch
Yeah.
soap with me. Hey, by the way, I was just at the local Myers to get some deodorant, and I saw, we all know what soap is. Do you know this Sasquatch deodorant?
Yes,
was
Dr. Sasquatch.
$15.99?
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
paying
you
for the
got-
gimmick.
You're killing me with this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Speed stick
Yeah.
really works.
You're paying for the gimmick, Rob.
No,
it's for
I
the
bought
gimmick.
I always buy Old Spice. They have a lot of nice variety. I get Wolfgang. I get Wolfen from Old Spice.
Yeah.
Good grief.
It's true. That's what they
I'll
sell.
stick with
They
speed
do.
stick. It's okay.
Okay.
I
like
don't
to
use
smell it
deodorant,
pretty.
guys. We Asians, we don't produce body odor, so
Yeah.
we're
Oh,
naturally
Crap,
immune.
I bet you forget. I've been to Korea. I know better. Nice try.
No, I don't make body odor. I could go. I could not shower for 3 weeks. You wouldn't notice.
Well, quit putting that perfume on. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's make sure we all shower daily
Yeah.
No.
at the conference.
Not-
Mhm.
No, oh, well,
Yes.
okay, yeah. Conference. Y'all shower daily.
Yes, please do.
I shower every 36 hours.
That's funny. Me and Mark thinking prison showers.
Right, Wes?
That's what I was thinking. You said community shower. I was like, oh, it's one of
Yeah,
the open play things. Get after it, type thing.
He's paranoid about seeing Tex naked.
No, there's actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, he's
Oh.
not.
Rob,
No,
you
he's
lock
not.
it.
Pardon me?
There's actually a door that shuts that goes into the shower area,
Yeah,
and
okay.
it even locks.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, anybody that's ever shared a room with Tex has seen him naked, whether you like it or not.
No, thank you.
Now, is there ghostly activity in the men's shower area, Krista?
So
Has there been paranormal activity?
in the women's bathroom, there has been.
Oh, but not in the men's bathroom? Oh, man, that's disappointing. I
don't hang out in the men's bathroom. Just saying.
I wanted to show the
set a
ghost
rum-
my goods,
Set a REM
I
pod
want to
out
give
there.
it a show.
You can try.
Oh,
You can try.
Yeah.
Set a
So
REM
in
pod
the-
out
in
there
the-
in the bathroom.
So in the open area where we're having our pre-party, it's a big, huge open area, and we've seen like black shadow figures and all kinds of things in there.
Ooh, cool.
Mhm.
Very nice.
Yeah, but
Once
those black
again-
shadow figures won't know what hit them when we're all partying together. Those black shadow figures will be like, yo, what's going on right now? I'm confused.
Y'all better have cameras
Yeah.
there, because I will be living vicariously through you. Okay.
Okay, we
Yeah.
will. Yeah.
Yep. We'll be taking pictures.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, and tune in to Monica, our Paranormal World. She'll be on at 10 o'clock. So
I
don't
think-
forget
yeah.
her show.
I think she's on tonight. She was on with me earlier. She's doesn't know yet, unless she made the show already. I don't know.
Yes, I don't know, but yeah.
That's-
Well, anyway,
Yeah,
she's
that-
on at 11 or 10 Central. Yeah, go
Yep.
check her out.
In 30 minutes, she'll be on. Tune in to Rob, to Donny Cho Says Stuff, to Truth of Tenfold, to all of us. Paranormal Paul, Tex, Monica.
Yep.
Did I get everybody?
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
don't see her. I don't know if she's gonna be on or not.
I don't see her. She might.
Yeah,
Sometimes
no.
she'll post a show very last minute, so you never
Yeah,
know.
last second.
Keep checking, guys.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
All right, guys. We'll see everybody tomorrow night. Y'all have
Very
a good
good.
night.
Bye.
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 See ya.
Bye.
This is the future. Evolution.
The Crossing Realms Conference launches September 19th and 20th and will dock in Richmond, Missouri. This is already being called the event of the year, folks. With an unprecedented list of speakers and special guests, 2 days of cryptids, UFOs, and paranormal presentations, along with a celebrity-filled ghost hunt, meet and greet, gallery reading, vendors, and a film screening. This promises to be both educational and fun. Go to eventbrite.com to secure your tickets and vendor slots before they are all abducted. They're going fast.